What's poppin', y'all? Kendrick got done doing back-to-back nights in Toronto, Canada, the home of Drake. And one of the most ridiculous... I'm probably going to do two separate videos on this because there are two ideas that we need to cover. The first is that Kendrick Lamar is scared and all of this security that was around him. So first, we're going to show some footage of a girl that was showing what was going on at Rogers Stadium from her apartment. She got a nice apartment. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip first.
Okay guys, if you're from Toronto, you know that Kendrick and SZA are performing tonight, and I live right next to the stadium, and I'm gonna show you what I see here, because I didn't even see this during the Taylor Swift concert. Like for the entire 6 nights I didn't see this, but there's literally, like, I counted 3, there might be more, 3 paramedic vans like parked right outside the stadium. So one second. So that is one of them, and then right here you're gonna see another one. I'm trying to zoom in here and you can make out the word ambulance. And then if you look down the road there's like a line of, I don't know if there's security or cops or what they are, but they're just standing on the street in this line formation. I don't know why. And like, just to show you, this is the stadium, the Rogers Center here in Toronto. And so like, that's outside my window, like the cop cars, and that's one of the paramedics that I showed you. And all these, like, these vans are Kendrick's like equipment and whatever, and Taylor had the exact same amount. Like the full parking lot was like full of these huge trucks there. But I just think having the paramedics is super sus, and having that line of like security or cops or whatever they were is also very weird.
So she's saying that she didn't see this for Taylor Swift. I think that's cap. You guys remember how many people were complaining that Taylor Swift, they blocked out the entire highway, the freeway, for Taylor Swift because she was coming down the freeway, and Taylor Swift doesn't got beef with anybody. So for anyone that's trying to use this as like Kendrick Lamar is scared, what do you mean? You should be happy for hip-hop that hip-hop is shutting down stuff like Taylor Swift is shutting down stuff. That's really the way that we should be looking at it. Like, yo, he came down there, the city came out, in terms of like the city, the government, the local government, and they made sure that nothing was going to happen. This doesn't happen when other people show up to Canada and do shows, and this is a stadium show too as well. So was Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, I think she did 6 nights on a stadium tour. Jeez, Taylor Swift really is up there. I was gonna say the GOAT. I mean, you guys know, I don't know if you guys know, I mess with Taylor Swift heavy. I haven't listened to her past like 2-3 albums, but if we're talking, hell, was Speak Now one of the albums? Speak Now, Red, 1989, I'm messing with those for sure. After that, I don't really know too much. I'm not gonna cap to you. Now, moving on, there's been static, obviously, between Drake and Kendrick Lamar and their teams. So what happened was Top 5, who was recently, this past year or so, he got off of a murder charge. He beat a case. They caught him. He was wanted for murder and in connection with a murder. He wasn't the actual trigger man. He got caught in LA, and then he got brought back to Canada, and then he sat in jail for quite a while, and then he beat the case. He said that Drake paid for him to beat the case. Drake has shouted him out before, like 10 years ago, in a song, but Drake makes it known that he messes with this guy, and that's his guy. But this guy, loose lips sink ships. That felt like a tongue twister. That's what this guy is. So he tried to pull up on Kendrick Lamar, and I'm gonna play you guys that clip.
Lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Man, even cut everything off. Man bought everything. He's a...
So this was him pulling up to Nobu, and he was saying, yo, they shut it down. Like, we can't even get into Nobu. We just want to have a conversation. Really, a conversation. Let me play you guys the clip of just from towards last year with what Top 5, who he calls him GGG, what he would do to Kendrick Lamar or anybody from his team if they showed up to Toronto. Let's roll that.
See how he talks? Yo, listen, man. I just want 2 people right now, man. I'm not, it's not a threat. I'm just looking for Metro Boomin and Kendrick Lamar. I'm doing my homework right now. I'm doing my task on them right now. Nothing incriminating. I'm just looking for them.
If you ran to Metro Boomin or Kendrick, what would that?
Metro Boomin 101. I don't want no weapons, nothing. I'm knocking the...
We're putting a bag on that fight still.
Kendrick,
five sleeping in first round.
You passed the border. You passed the border, man. Chubbs calling me. You passed the border, man. You passed the border.
Yo, hold on. Yo, wait. So I hear that Kendrick soon forward to some restaurant called New Ho King. He gonna come for the fried rice.
I went there.
So, Ross, you think Kendrick... Yo, I will quit rapping if Kendrick Lamar goes to New York King without 20 police officers and leaves with a change on.
You don't think he can go there, do his little push-ups, eat his fried rice, and you know what I mean, rap not like us at New Ho King?
That's the last place he's ever gonna be. You're crazy, you're testing my gangster. You see what happened to DJ Drama. Yo, Ross, you know what happened to DJ Drama?
No,
my
sir.
G chain. His fucking chain. And he fucking hospitalized his ass. DJ Drama.
Hold on. You gotta tell him the story because I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Aiden knows what's going on.
So, Ross, I'm in jail.
DJ
I'm
Drama
in
had
jail.
to check in the next time he came back.
And he checked in with him.
Linked him with 35.
He paid him. He paid him like a good 60,000. He's cheap. He paid a good 100K. You know what I mean? So here for GGG HOC. Oh my God, yo.
Whole lot of members.
Yo, listen, we're sexy red, man. I want that. I want that.
So here he is, fresh off, talking about, yo, this is what we did to DJ Drama. We took his chain. This guy who clearly the Toronto government is not happy with. They have him as a person of interest. They're watching whatever he does on social media. It's like 6ix9ine. The police were watching 6ix9ine. The FBI was watching 6ix9ine. Why did they pick him up before they believed that there was going to be a potential ending of his life, not just a threat to his life, because of the call that I believe it was Harv made to super violate him? So they picked him up. They're watching Top 5 in the same way. He's I wouldn't necessarily say the 6ix9ine of Canada, but entertainment value, if you want to call it that. That's what it would be. So the fact that he thinks that Kendrick Lamar has anything to do with it is ridiculous. Now, Kendrick shouldn't allow this guy anywhere near him because you want to cause him harm. And there's another clip that they showed where Kendrick had a bunch of police escorts. So I'm going to play that clip as well. This is just how superstars move. When Michael Jackson would pull up to a place, they would roll out like this. When Taylor Swift pulls up to a place, they roll out like this. When Travis Scott pulls up to a place, I don't know if they roll out like this, but they probably do roll out like this. So really, this is just giving more respect to Kendrick Lamar. And let's keep in mind, do you guys remember that footage that was spread everywhere when Drake was in LA and they were like, yo, Drake moves like the president. And Drake didn't even have beef with anybody at this time, but he had like 6 cars and then his security just started driving through traffic or something like that, or they started moving traffic themselves. So you can't say that when your man's is Drake. And your own government is probably trying to make sure that you don't get anywhere near him. So them trying to portray Kendrick as scared is, I find it quite disgusting, because what's the alternative? That they're just going to have open doors and let random people get close to them? Like random freaks in a foreign country? Like that is, I cannot fathom, but you know, sometimes you hurt yourself trying to think in the mind of people that have pea brains. It's just, you can't shrink that small. The guy at Top 5 even told academics that they had a photo. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't put it past them. That they had a photo of, if you see this guy anywhere near here, then you know, like he's banned. He's banned from being in the stadium whatsoever. So he couldn't even buy tickets. He couldn't even show up if somebody got him in, etc. And if you've been talking about Kendrick Lamar, yo, let's see what happens on the internet. Let's see what happens when he shows up to our city. Let's see what happens when he shows up to our city. At least multiple times a month. 5 to 10 times a month, you're saying this. And then he shows up to your city and everybody calls him police. dog, you're talking to the police on the internet. They're like, okay, we've got a big artist showing up. There was a beef. Not only was there a beef, there was a shooting at Drake's house. Drake even called 2 academics and told them that there were cops outside of his crib the past 2 to 3 days before Kendrick Lamar even showed up to do a show. Drake didn't really say anything. I don't know if Drake would have done anything. He shouldn't have done anything. Really, the best thing he can do is what he's doing now, which is pretending that, it's not let bygones be bygones, but pretending that everything's said and done. And he's just because after this moment, what really is there? There isn't much to be said. The song was performed. It was performed at the Super Bowl. It was performed at the Pop Out. It was performed in Toronto, Canada. There's nothing else left to do. Yeah, Kendrick will continue doing victory laps, which I am in full support of. Y'all know that. I mess with the victory laps. But other than that, it is what it is. And them trying to portray Kendrick for doing something that was provided to him by the local government, which is something that Drake actually pays for. The U.S. government doesn't do this for the LAPD and all that. They don't do that for Drake. He's paying them. So really, who's the big boss? It seems like Kendrick Lamar to me, that the government is willing to bend rules and watch Drake, who is their star, their angel, in order to protect the current GOAT of hip-hop. That's what it sounds like to me. But hey, oh yeah, I will say though that it is crazy that he didn't even sleep the night in Toronto. Like, you finish the show, you leave to go to New York, and then you come back to Toronto to perform the next night. I think that was one of the funniest things that I've ever seen. Now, if people want to make fun of that, that is funny, dog. I don't know. I don't think he trusted any hotels, but that just goes to show. Now, I know somebody's going to say, nah, that's how LA cats move. You can't rest your head knowing that there might be ops working at the security and they might let someone up into the room, because that is how grimy LA get. Like, they could be security at a show and they'll let somebody walk right up to you. And I think similar thing happened in Houston with the 6ix9ine show, because he had issues with Rap-A-Lot, also known as Mob Ties. What's their name? Jay Prince family. He had issues with the Prince family and they shut down the whole show and he just got up out of there. Now, 6ix9ine didn't apologize or anything, but I think that's what the LA guys would say. They'll be like, nah, he was just thinking ahead. But hey, you guys can leave your comments about it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.